before I moved away, my grandma said to me, you're going to mention people's names to me in 3 months that you don't even know who they are now. And I can see why people stay here for so many years.
Looking back now, either to your former self or someone else looking to apply now, what's the one bit of advice you'd give them? Welcome to Life at Next podcast, Charlotte.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you for asking.
Good.
So you're a trainee buyer on kids knitwear and wovens.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Long one, but
yeah, it is.
So it's great to have you on. Before we go into it, if anyone's listening and doesn't subscribe, come on, please subscribe. Give us a like as well if you're watching on social. And then, just keep following us on all the various channels. So let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah, sounds
cool.
Good.
So trainee buyer, where'd that start then? How did that start? Talk me through that.
So I was on LinkedIn, and Next have quite a good presence on LinkedIn, and they've got a lot of recruiters on there are constantly posting about it. And I actually had a family member who works for Next. And I really wanted...
At Enderby? Or?
At Enderby, yeah.
Oh, right.
And I really wanted to... Obviously, I got my degree in fashion, more specifically marketing, but buying is definitely something I knew I wanted to do for quite a long time. And she told me about how Next recruit a lot on LinkedIn. So I went on LinkedIn and I had a look at what the opportunities were. And I messaged Liberty, who I know is on the recruitment team.
Yeah.
And I said... look, I'm really interested in getting into buying. How do I go about this? And she was really helpful. She said, send over your CV and then we'll kind of go from there. So I got that sent over and they were really quick with it as well, getting back to me. And
that's good.
The process kind of started from there, really, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pace here, full stop, no matter what
definitely.
we do.
Yeah,
whether you're in the business or looking to join, it's all quick. And how have you found it? How have you found it since like coming into the brand and joining Next?
It's... not to be biased, but it's the best job that I've personally ever had. I mean, the sense of community and also the level of what they do for trainees as well. You know, you come in, they ease you into it. You've got the trainee house, which I'm currently living at. It's so nice. It's so nice. Nicer than any uni accommodation I've personally ever been in. It's really good. They look after their trainees. Your team always quite close-knit as well. You know, you have to work together with people. It's not just an independent thing. You work as a team. So I absolutely love the job. But yeah, definitely.
And you said that a big word I think I picked up on there was the word communities.
Yes.
Is that the early careers community in particular? What's that been like?
Really, really good. I mean, it's daunting because I've had to move from quite a long way away. I'm from Carlisle, so I'm from...
that is a long way to Leicester.
I know, it's... if you can do it quick, it's 3.5 hours, but personally, for me, it takes about 4. So I had to move pretty much my whole life down there. And one of the reasons why, because I was so confident in the reassurance I'd been given by the early careers team, kind of welcome you to the company. I came down here with my grandma for the interview and she was like waiting for me to be done. And it was just, they were very reassuring about, I know they'd said a lot of people already have moved from quite far away for the jobs. And for me to do that, I needed to make sure that the job and I felt like a sense of community because there's nothing more daunting really than moving from somewhere far away and not knowing anybody. Luckily, I had a family member who lives here, but the early careers team were really welcoming and they do reassure you about that big step that you're going to take, whether you're moving from local or it's still a big job regardless of where you come from. So, it was really helpful.
And how long have you been here now then?
I've been here since the end of January, so, almost 2 months.
Yeah. Start of 25 then you came in.
Start to New Year.
yeah. Nice. And what drew you in particular to like fashion buying? Because you said there as well, didn't you, that something you'd always kind of wanted to do.
Yes. So
why Next?
Well, my kind of fashion journey started at university. I did fashion marketing and communications though. And within that job, there were some like elements of buying already. You had like fashion forecasting and you got to dabble in different kind of areas, a bit of design in there as well. And I've kind of done a lot of areas in the industry already, not buying yet. But I found that a lot of companies don't do a lot of kind of hiring for buyers starting off. It's there's not a lot of advertising around buying, I think, in general, especially that early start. And a lot of them start at assistant buyers, but that's something you have to work your way towards and have sort of experience for. So the fact that Next did the trainee kind of role really enticed me, because it kind of set me off into obviously because I hadn't tried buying before, I knew I had to start somewhere, and they give you that kind of like foundation towards kind of progressing through the company as well.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a massive thing for us, like absolutely massive. Like, you know, so many people have built such a successful career here. Yeah, we still want, you know, people to come into the business from other brands and stuff like that. But we've got such a great talent of people that started as a trainee like yourself that then have gone on to be like a buying manager.
Yeah.
So it's amazing the level of progression you can get as well. It's so good. So you're in good hands, basically.
Yeah, great.
And what was it like? What was like? You mentioned there about how good the early careers recruitment team were. So shout out to them. They'll all be really happy. What was that interview process like? Because I imagine for someone first career job might have been quite daunting, eh?
Yes, so there was a few steps for the interview process. So I did after I handed my CV in, I did a pre-recorded interview, and then I did a Teams call with someone who used to work here but now do the interview side of things.
Yeah.
And then I got asked to come into the assessment centre, which was really helpful because you also did a team building activity.
With other with other potential trainees.
Yes, so in my slot, there was just me and one other person.
Oh.
So, which kind of, I don't know if that would be like someone's idea of heaven or hell, because at least, you know, you get to show yourself off a little bit more and show what you can do, but you're also still got someone there that you can listen to, because like I said about this job, you have to be able to listen to other people and other people's opinions.
Great tip, that is.
Because
tip.
you can think you've got the world's best, and it might be the best idea, but you've got to make sure that other people around you also are on board with that. And that's where the teamwork comes in. And that's why I'm assuming they did the team building exercise. And so we had to do a bit of like a range build style interview process. So we had to pick certain garments out of what would you put into store type of thing. And there was that. And then there was the kind of solo interview. And for buying, in my interview anyway, I had to do like a SWOT analysis and then kind of presentation. But I really enjoyed it. I love doing like presentations and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of presentations. Yeah. I don't know why in particular. I just really like I like to visually show ideas as well, like in a really cool way. Like it's fun. I find it fun. I know everyone's like, oh, what? Not PowerPoint, Google, but apparently AI is changing that. But it is a good thing. And if you're looking back now, either to your former self or someone else looking to apply now, what's the one bit of advice you'd give them, like going through that process?
I'd say trust the process. Ooh. My big thing in life, one door shuts, so another one can open. I mean, that kind of explains why I've done so many different jobs within the fashion industry. I mean, I did visual merchandising. That was quite a big one that I did for a while. I enjoyed it, but I knew it wasn't where I was. It was more retail side of job. And then in the time, I had an opportunity to come through with a different company, and it didn't end up working out, and I got a little bit like, oh, what if, and then this came along, and that just proved to myself to trust the process, because what's meant for you will come to you. And I think trust yourself as well. Going into the interview, be yourself is the biggest thing, because when you're working with people every day, you know, you've got loads of different personalities. Just be yourself. They can kind of see what kind of person you are in the interviews. I mean, I think for me, be prepared as well. Obviously, if you're doing a presentation, make sure obviously you've got everything kind of. I was doing mine for like a while before I started. I wanted to make sure it was perfect. But if you get the opportunity with this role, it will change your life in the best way possible. I mean, I can't even imagine, like, before I moved away, my grandma said to me, you're going to mention people's names to me in 3 months that you don't even know who they are now. And I've made so many good friends, especially with the trainee. And if you're a trainee, get yourself involved. They have all these big events we're doing. Like next week, we're going to Roxy in Leicester, which is a bit of like a leisure.
Yeah, it's like a bowling, darts, pool.
Yeah, it's a bit of everything.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Which will be fun. And then we did pizza the other week, Domino's Pizza in one of the rooms. Get yourself involved, you know, be a part of it, because like you said before, a lot of people that are high up now came in exactly where you are. Like and also when you come into it, don't think your opinion isn't mattered, because when I first joined, a lot of my manager, for example, said, well, what do you think of this? And I thought, oh my gosh, they actually kind of want my opinion. But you need to remember, you are qualified for the job, otherwise you wouldn't
No, you wouldn't be there in the first place.
Wouldn't be here right now.
They wouldn't be there in the first place.
And, you've either got a degree or you've done sort of element of fashion before. And I think, you are qualified for the job, trust your own intuition. And they put a lot of... one thing I noticed since starting here was the amount of young people that do work here, and it's really lovely to see that as a company they are putting their trust in the new generation of, because we're the next buyers, we're the next people that are coming in and buying the clothing. I think having that generational awareness is really good here as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's been a massive, I've been here a few years now. That's been something I've seen. Well, I guess I'm getting older, so there will be younger people. But...
I wasn't hitting anything.
Yeah, right, okay. No, it is something that we are definitely invested in more. And do you think before that there was a perception that, and be honest, you can be honest, maybe there was a perception that maybe Next was a little bit like older or a bit more like set in its ways? Did that surprise you?
Kind of. However, I worked in one of our, like a similar brand to Next before, and I did visual merchandising, and I saw the kind of new trends that are coming through with that company, and like you can tell there's some people that are really tapping into the whole what people want to buy next, and whether you're older or younger you can do that. But I do think coming into it there is a lot more trainees than I thought there was going to be, so I think each team normally has one or two trainees.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's normally how it works. And I think seeing the amount of young people walking around that maybe are my age, it was quite inspiring because again, it feels like they put their trust into younger people as well. So yeah, definitely. I think, there's a good mix.
Oh, no, there's a real good mix. There's a real good mix of, you've got some people that have done like crazy years here, like crazy years, but their knowledge and like experience and everything is fantastic. And it's something you've just got to, like you say, you've got to kind of just lean into it and tap into. Yeah. Because they've probably been in your shoes.
100%.
Yeah, maybe slightly different scenario because of the times, but at the same time, they're going to have all that knowledge.
Yeah, definitely.
So work with and bring that teamwork back in, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned some pretty cool things from people on my team that have been there for quite a long time. So I do agree with that. Cool.
Right, shall we go to something a little bit more light-hearted now?
Okay.
So a little bit of this and that.
Yeah.
So got one here. You can only take notes on a laptop or a notebook ever again. What are you choosing?
Notebook, 100%.
What?
Oh, I'm so old school.
What?
I know. I'm talking here about being like young and like new.
Why a notebook?
So when I first started the job role, my mum bought me like a really nice little Katie Loxton little notebook, and I was like, right. And I've always been a writer because I did English literature for A-level, so I've always loved writing. And ever since I started, this book is like my if I ever lose this book, I'm gonna have to create like 3 copies of it because it's got everything that I'd need to know. And I'm more of a writer than I obviously my job is heavily revolved around computers, so I know obviously how to work them. But I've always been like a writer personally.
Fair enough, each to their own. That's what I say. I mean, I'm completely opposite.
Like from your reaction, you're probably the opposite.
I am the opposite. Anyone that knows me, I'm like, what's paper? Like, what is
what's
this?
Paper?
What
we
is
don't need
this?
trees. It's fine.
Keep the trees where they are. Keep the trees where they are. But no, fair enough. Would you rather go for only ever work early in the morning, or only ever work later? So start really early and finish early, or start later and finish later. If you had the
option.
Yeah, if you had the option.
Start early.
Oh, you're an early morning person, yeah?
Yeah. I never was, and I've kind of adapted. I just think, get up. I feel like you waste so many hours sometimes in bed. Get up, get to work, and then you can.
I agree.
In summer as well, when it's nice outside, you can finish early and then it's not dark.
Yeah, it's great. I love an early start. I'm in this weird stage at the moment where I'm getting up earlier and earlier and earlier to the point I'm like, this is a bit ridiculous.
Are you one of them people that gets up at like 4 a.m?
Well, 4:30 is my earliest.
Oh, I was joking.
No. 4:30. Not every day, but my usual day is 5 a.m. now.
Okay, I don't get up that early.
Yeah. That is early, and it's weird, like you say, though, because you kind of just see everything waking up then.
Yeah, but there's something quite nice about it. It's like the silence. Like there's nobody around. Got the birds chirping, sunrise. Yeah,
you ask my team. I love a little bit of headspace in the morning, and then I'm like, right, let's go. Yeah, no, it's great. Would you rather work in complete silence for the rest of your career, or music there all the time. So you can't have a bit of both. It's one or the other.
Do you mean like people talking as well, or is
Like
it just...
no, there's just noise, there's music, talking, everything, or complete silence. But you can never go to one or the other.
Oh. I like a bit of background noise. I feel like sometimes it keeps you upbeat. My job also, because you end up talking a lot with people because you have to discuss, especially as a buyer, discussing samples and approvals and all that. So I think for me, I do like a bit of back. So if I had to pick, I'd probably go
constant noise.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people wouldn't choose that. Yeah, I feel like you're not one of them people.
I don't know, because I like my time where you've got your alone time, but then to have that all the time.
Well, you can do that at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then come to work.
That's very true. That is very true. Do you like working on, like, in your role so far? Have you found out whether or not do you like getting stuck into like one massive big task, or like loads of little things at once? What's your kind of best way? What do you prefer?
That's a difficult one, because with obviously trainee buyer, you do have a lot of, not small roles because they are important, but you have a lot of things you need to do in a day, and they kind of go from one to the other. And then obviously sometimes you have, your buyers doing range builds, and that can take, pre-selection can take so long. I'd probably say, for some reason, I feel like if I do lots of little jobs, I feel more accomplished. So I'd probably go with that one.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I agree. But then do you sometimes do like the little jobs like me, where you're like, I shouldn't be doing the little jobs because I'm putting off that big job, or...
I don't know. That's why I have my notebook, so I can
fair enough.
tick it all off.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'd probably choose the small jobs, I'd say.
Nice.
And then get them all done.
Nice. And kind of, going back to kind of like your career and where you are now, kind of, what are you looking forward to in the future? Because, you've been here a few months now. You've probably got an idea of like the culture and stuff like that. What's that been like? And where do you think it can go?
Like I said, it's a very big community, and I can see why people stay here for so many years, because they look after you. And, I will say the restaurant, chef's kiss, excuse the pun, the restaurant is so good.
Yeah,
the food.
It is good.
Oh my goodness. Different thing every day, pretty much. And then obviously you make like a little next family. Like, so there's a girl on my team, a trainee, and she's moving soon to a different team, but I feel like it'll be really upset when she goes, because we kind of sit next to each other and we work together, and she's helped me obviously when I started. I think Next is obviously growing all the time, and they're adapting to a lot of things, and it's paying off, hence, why they're doing so well as a company, sales-wise. And I think there's definitely growth in every fibre, as they say. I've been doing my research.
Someone's been reading the marketing campaigns.
I was sat for my interview and I was looking at the TV, and this is the first time I'd been in here, and they were like growth and everything. I was like, that's going to come in handy one day.
Yeah, there we go.
I think as a big community, I think, like I said, I can get why people stay here for such a long time, and you do make friendships, and even in the house, like that, it's your work becomes your life, but not in a bad way. You've got these friends at the house, and you bump into them at work. So I can see myself hopefully progressing through the company as well. And I've learnt so much about the fashion industry and Next, and all the trainee Thrive stuff that they do. So you've got all your learning, and they really teach you the way of Next. And I think that's obviously a very internalized thing they do. So yeah, definitely.
No, that's great. And it's good. You have said community a lot, but it is good you've said that, because there is, I think that's the best way of describing the whole business of everyone's got, it's like you've got your team community, then you've got your department community, then you've got your campus community, then you've got the business community.
Definitely.
But it all works together while functioning like separately in a way, because you've got people like in distribution that will probably never really ever work with buying. Some will, but not as close as like maybe like you might do with your designer or your merchandiser. But everyone's kind of going in the same direction, and that's what's great. And
you're constantly bumping into people from a different team that you've met because you've done like some sort of collaboration with them, or you've done training with them. You're like, oh hi, see you in the canteen. It's really nice, and I think like you said, there's a sense of family there as well. And I mean, it's crazy for me to say that because I've literally never came to Leicester before I went for this interview. And then I moved here like cold turkey, like it was interview, move here.
Big risk.
And the fact that I feel that way after not even knowing much about Leicester, I knew they had a football team and that was about it. That was about it.
Well, that's a start. That's better than nothing.
Good. I knew that the next head office was here, but obviously because I'd never had an affiliation with it at the time, I didn't, and then obviously the job came up and I knew it was in Leicester. But the fact that I've moved here so quickly and made such a bond with so many people, it makes me really happy. It makes my family reassured of, if you're thinking of doing this and you've got family back home and they're worried, which I understand. My family was so worried about me. It's nice for them to know here that my family love that I've made so many friends and made like a little new home for myself here. So
yeah, it seems like it's really important to you as well,
really
doesn't it? Like just from what you've said around like your grandma as well, and that seems like that part of you that's something you really value as well.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from her. She kind of like, I live with her back home and I'm really close to my mum and my dad, and they were very worried. My dad lives abroad, so he was kind of used to me being away, but they were a bit worried about me coming down, but they're so reassured. They came to visit the other week and they absolutely love the place. They love that I love my job. So that's all I can really want for family, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's been great. And if you've not subscribed or following, and you've enjoyed this chat with me and Charlotte, please listen to some others and give us a little smash that like button, as they say.
Yeah.
But no, thank you very much again, Charlotte.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.